Hi, I'm Gail. I'm Gail, and I want to tell you a process that will help you to install self love. That sounds like a big promise. It is one. And I'm going to tell you how to do that step by step and why so that you understand how it works. But in order to do that, you have to indulge me just a bit and tell you about my own personal story because it's how I became aware of this process. So during the early parts of the pandemic, I had a lot of time to sit and reflect, a lot of time. And um, I was listening to a lot of people on YouTube. I really was. I was listening to a lot of Abraham, that's Esther Hicks, channeling this being, Abraham, who talks specifically about the law of attraction and about deliberate manifestation. I was listening to a lot of Abraham and to Esther. I also had discovered Tara Brach, and Tara Brach was just a really interesting influence on me because she's a scientist who's also a Buddhist. So she combines the science of psychology along with a spiritual practice. And I found her really fascinating, and she opened all kinds of doors in my mind about all kinds of things. Then I found Amanda Ellis, and Amanda really became a mentor for me because Amanda is in the UK, and Amanda is a psychic, a tarot reader, a medium who has an incredible naturalness about her gifts. And she became a real inspiration for me um, about what my life might look like if I were able to embrace some of the things that I've been hiding about myself. I also found Pam Gregory, who's an incredible astrologer, also from the UK, and and I started to learn the language of astrology, which had a really big effect on me too. And then there was Marissa Peer, and Marissa is also from the UK. Marissa is a hypnotherapist who's designed a very particular way of doing hypnotherapy whereby she assists people to delete their programming, especially their childhood programming, their childhood wounds, um, in an attempt to thereby go on and install new programming. So, and I thought for a while about becoming a hypnotherapist because she does train people to do that. So those people became, it's like each one of them had a piece of the puzzle for me. And I need to say that, during the last 20 some odd years, I've listened to a ton of people. These people haven't been the only influence on me. And I want to mention in particular Sarah Ben Brennick, who really got me on the journey of gratitude journaling, as well as Julia Cameron, with not only The Artist's Way, but with all of her books, just to help me fit a whole bunch of things together. Also, Marianne Williamson, Wayne Dyer, Deepak Chopra, Gary Zukav. I mean, there's a list is a million people long. I can't name them all, but all of these people have had an influence on me. So as I sat here at the beginning of the pandemic, the issue that I really wanted to deal with was my own sense of rejection. I kept having what I would say were rejection experiences of various kinds. Sometimes romantically, sometimes um, with friendships, sometimes casually. And I realized that it must be something in me that was vibrating rejection because otherwise I couldn't be pulling in these experiences. And so I embarked on a journey. Um, well, no, I didn't really know that that's what I was doing, but that's in fact what I was doing in order to try to remove these rejection issues that I had and reinstall some new programming. And through that whole experience, I was given a step-by-step process about how to do that, especially about how to delete childhood wounds, which have been fear-based and of which have been a kind of poison in our system psychologically and also in our physical body as well as our psychological and emotional body that really that really require examination. And so now I'm able to tell you exactly step by step what that looked like for me and what I believe it can look like for you. And it's tremendously exciting. It really is, because I believe that anybody can do this. And I'm going to go through what the steps are. I'm going to tell you what the steps are right now, and then over the next little while, I'll be doing a video on each of the steps and going in depth about what it means. So there are, let's see, I want to say 5 steps. Although I may want to adjust that, but let's say 5 steps at the moment. So the first one is that you have to go in and examine, excavate, and find out where your childhood wounds came from, what they are, what your messages are that someone told you or did to you that you believed, and that have created this lack of self-worth in you at some level, to some degree or other. So the first one is an excavation process about going in and finding and then deleting those childhood wounds. The second part is that having removed that programming, we have to go in and install new programming, just like any computer, any good computer. And we do that primarily through affirmations. And here I've been greatly influenced by the work of Louise Hay. I think an awful lot of her. She's passed into spirit now, but I can feel her with me. And affirmations are the way to go to reinstall new programming. I'm going to give you this information, but information is not transformation, as we all know. And so you do have to do the work. And I think when someone's ready, they'll find that they're motivated enough that they'll be willing to do the work. It's not difficult work, but it does require a kind of motivation, a dedication that we are going to, one at a time, improve our own lives. The third part is about the power of gratitude, and especially the practice of the daily practice of gratitude, and about why that works and what it does exactly and why it's so important. The fourth one is an interesting one, but it's about making in your daily life, making your sense of happiness a priority. And we'll go into how you do that and why you do that and what that might look like. But it's a really important piece of the puzzle. And all the way along, I'll be explaining to you why each piece fits in the way that it does. We'll also be talking about the nature of reality as we go through this, as well as how we manifest and how we deliberately manifest, or how we're manifesting all the time, but how we can control what we deliberately manifest. So this is all part and parcel of what we're going to do. The fifth part that I want to go over with you is what to expect as you, after you've done these 4 steps, what you can expect, because there are miracles that will come to you as you start to vibrate love instead of fear. Your life will change dramatically, just completely dramatically, for the better. But also, you'll be releasing a whole bunch of toxic emotions that have been blocked in your body and in your psyche. And I want to tell you what kinds of things those might look like. This will look different for every person, but just so that you have some idea of what might come. So that's what we're going to do over the next couple of videos, and I invite you to join me. Since I have embarked on this journey, my life has turned to magic, interspersed with bouts of sobbing, I have to admit. But the overall effect is a life with a richness and with all kinds of love coming at me in spades. So I'll see you again here in a few days, and we'll work our way through all 5 of the steps. All right. It's exciting. It's exciting. Believe me, it's exciting. Okay. Bye for now.